My dear students, I hope all of you are fine and doing well. So the topic that we will discuss here it is the concentration of the ore and it's part 1. So what does mean by the concentration of the ore? Basically, it is a process of removal of the gangue. Gangue is the basically waste part of the material and it may be of three types. The gangue may include the soil, it may include the sand as well as it may include the clay. So it depends upon the type of the ore that is present. So we have to remove the gangue from the ore and just happen technically. This process is known as basically concentration and the purified ore that we gain it is then called as concentrate. So when we have the ore, it includes two different parts, the metals, oxides, as well as it contains the gangue along with this. When that gangue is being removed from the ore, now that metal oxide is known as basically the concentrate as we just gain it by the process of the concentration. And here the concentration of the ore, this process is also known as enrichment of the ore. This process is known as enrichment of the ore, and this is also known as the dressing of ore. So both can be named as enrichment and dressing of the ore. And in this process, we just remove the rocky type material, sand, soil, and clay from the ore. And this matrix is also known as the gangue and as well as the matrix. So both the name can be used for these impurities must be removed from the ore before the process of its extraction. Now, how do we get the concentrate ore? Let's have a look on different methods. The methods for the concentration of the ore here we use. The first one is known as the gravitation method or gravitation based separation. Second one is known as the leaching. Third one is known as the magnetic separation. And the fourth one is known as the fourth flotation process. All these processes that we use, it depends upon the type of the ore, that what type of metal plus what type of oxides as well as sulfides, chlorides, or if the carbonates are present and how they can be removed. So we can use the different types of method for the concentration of the ore. Let's have a look on the first two methods. The first one method is crushing and grinding of the ore. So before the concentration of the ore, we have to do the crushing and then the grinding of the ore. This is basically done to convert the huge lumps of ore that are present. They are converted into the small pieces by the crushing, and then these small pieces are grinded and it is converted into the powder form. So all that just happened by the use of the different type of crushers and the different types of the grinders, as this is the physical method. And these pieces are then small pieces that we gain after this process are then reduced to the fine powder, and after the getting of the fine powder that just happened by the help of the two things which is known as the ball mill or also by the use of the stamp mill. This process is grinding and crushing is known as the pulverizing or pulverization. So here you can see that the larger particles are being fed into the crusher and they are converted into small pieces, and then they are put up into the grinders where the process of grinding is takes place and it is converted into the powder form. This is known as pulverization. Depending upon the basically nature of the ore, one or more of the steps can be used for the concentration of the ore, and they are basically physical methods. Now, the first method we have, it is the hand picking. Now, hand picking, it is the method in which the ore is being concentrated. And how it is concentrated? It is concentrated to sufficient degree of the purity by the simple picking with the help of the hands, that all the particles that are suspended or that are enough larger and are can be seen by the naked eye, they can be removed by the simple hand picking. They can be the stones, and then they are being removed by a simple picking up with the hands. This is the method first, which is known as the concentration of the ore. And the second method that we can use for the concentration of ore, it is known as the gravity separation. That method is also known as the hydraulic washing. It's also known as the hydraulic washing. And what does just happen in this place? In this method, we have to just work on the difference of the density. And here we have to look on the difference in the density of the ore and the gangue particles. We have, as the ore is having gangue particles along with, in this process all the particles that are poured over a hydraulic classifier. This is the hydraulic classifier, in which the upper part, and this is the depression, and this is the elevation. Now what just happened? Now it started to vibrate, and it is having an inclined plane, upward and downward, downward and upward, with the grooves. These are basically the grooves, and here we have a jet of water. When the fine ore particles are being fall over there, now all the particles that have less density, they started to move over the surface of the water along with that. And as the fine ore particles which are having the metals, they started to settle at these grooves and depressions. In this way, all the gangue particles will run off with the water, and they will be separated by this process. In this way, all the ore particle is being washed, and the gangue particles that are having less density, they being removed by this gravity separation. So this is just happening on the difference of the gravities, and the water with the lighter particles we move away, leaving behind here in the grooves with the particles of the metal and ore. So this was all about the today's lecture. I hope you guys understand. And if you have any queries, you may ask me about that in a comment section. And the next topic that we will discuss, it is the concentration of the ore and its two methods, the fourth flotation process and the fourth one method along with that. For that time, you guys keep learning and have a good day.